이어지는 발표는 이번 온체인 심포지엄 2025를 위해 아낌없는 성원을 해주신 스폰서 기업 발표 시간입니다. 오늘 행사를 가능하게 해주신 KEF 전이호 전무이사님께서 비트코인, 이더리움, 그리고 카스파라는 주제로 발표해 주시겠습니다. 잠시 무대가 준비되는 대로 바로 발표를 시작해 보겠습니다. 네, 무대가 정리되는 동안 잠시 안내 말씀드리자면요. 아까 설명해 드렸듯이 우리 로비에서 다양한 기업 부스가 진행되고 있습니다. 오늘 행사를 진행하는 동안 기업 부스에도 많은 참여와 관심 부탁드리겠습니다. 네, 또한 우리 토큰 포스트가 운영하고 있는 부스에서는 기프트 카드를 받을 수 있는 이벤트를 200명 선착순으로 진행하고 있으니까요. 오늘 행사가 진행되는 동안 빠르게 함께 해보시길 추천드리겠습니다. 그럼 바로 전이호 전무이사님을 모셔보겠습니다. 여러분 힘찬 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a great honor to be able to sponsor this event in Korea. And it's really a pleasure to speak to a lot of the professors and practitioners, all of the prominent talents from Korea on this stage. I believe that Kaspa is rather new to the Korean market. But personally myself, I have spent 1 year studying in Korea. So I think that I was listening to the previous panel. I think that Korean has also a quite, I won't say complete, but a very progressive financial regulatory system. They have the Financial Service Act for all kinds of digital and e-banks and payment industries. So I'm not sure if this is a nostalgia for my time in Korea, but definitely I think there are a lot of creative crypto forces on Korea. I think the most famous one was the Luna project. And again, the previous panel was talking about stablecoins. And the Luna project based in Korea, coming from Korea, used to be one of the most famous and widely spread decentralized algorithm-backed stablecoin. I mentioned this project because I always miss it, since it shares the spirit of decentralization as that is shared by Bitcoin, by Ethereum, and by Kaspa. An unfortunate fact is that a lot of blockchains of today are not decentralized, or to be more accurate, they are not implementing the Nakamoto consensus, which asks for trustless and warrantless nodes to join your network. A lot of the networks require a big entry bar. For instance, you have to stake a lot of assets to become part of the network, to be a node. But before talking more about trustless needs and permissionless needs, I would like to just give you a brief word about what Kaspa is. So this is Kaspa's K-candles curves, because I still assume that most of the people in this market are still trying to looking for alpha opportunities, trying to look for stuff that can generate higher returns on investments. Launched in 2021 with a fair launch, which means exactly as Bitcoin, there is no pre-VC investments, there's no pre-mining activities, there's no pre-allocation of tokens. Kaspa has been pumping for over 1,000 times for the past 3 years, totally based on community consensus. And the outlook of the project is that we have a maximum supply. Unlike Ethereum, Solana, or Dogecoin, which kind of can issue as many tokens as they want to, although of course they have some charters or constitutions to ban them from doing that. Precisely as Bitcoin, Kaspa has a maximum supply. More importantly, that almost all the tokens are in circulations because they are all mined out by the miners. So the market cap and the valuation we have, I would say that is a real and authentic valuation. It's between the range of 2 to 4 billion US dollars for the past 12 months. I would also argue that it has a very prominent or great market cap if you just look among the proof of work networks. It's only after Bitcoin and Dogecoin. And furthermore, if you're counting those chains, the L1 chains only, by which I refer to BNB or Solana or Bitcoin or Ethereum themselves, it is still the 15th largest. So this is a very good project to be invested in, even looking from the surface, right? That again, as I said, that in the past 800 days, it has a 1,000 times pump. In addition, that this is highly liquid, right? It doesn't mean that you cannot trade if you buy in. The average daily volume of trading is around 100 million US dollars. And it has been on most of the major exchanges around the world. This includes Kraken, Bybit, and BitGet, and KuCoin. And if you're talking about perps and futures, it's also on Binance and Coinbase, and so on. In Korea, we're only listed on Coin1 with a Korean won trading pair, and that's one of the reasons we're here, because we would like to establish more substantial partnerships with Korean exchanges. What you need to know about Kaspa is that just as Bitcoin, Kaspa is a UTXO chain. And just as Bitcoin, Kaspa is a proof of work chain, which means it prioritizes security through computational power rather than staking your own wealth. The major revolution Kaspa brings to you is that it achieves scalable decentralized consensus, and the BlockDAG allows up to 10 blocks per second speed without compromising any security. Oh, I also want to hint on that. When we talk about decentralization, the hardware requirement is also an important aspect. For instance, the Solana network, I personally believe, is not that decentralized because it demands you to have a very high RAM machine with a lot of storage requirements. And I personally think that the only people care about decentralization in this world is Satoshi himself, and then Vitalik, and then Dr. Jonathan Samplinsky from Kaspa. So, a little bit of information about Dr. Jonathan Samplinsky. He is a research associate from Harvard University. And to be very fair, he's not part of the crypto world. I would argue he would prefer to tag himself as a scholar. And that's why if you want to learn more about him, maybe you should go to the Google Scholar page rather than Twitter or Root Data or any ventures. Originally, I think his work was designed to improve Ethereum's uncle block rule. And that's why on the next page, you will see Vitalik has quoted Jonathan's work for multiple times in multiple occasions. And in addition, that the DAG, which is not a chain, it means that it can generate a lot of blocks at the same time, is a foundational research work for a lot of the popular chains that I believe are better known than Kaspa in Korea. These networks include Sui and Aptos, which are of higher market value and again of better popularity in Korea. So in this chart, you can see the research papers that are already published. And again, these are all very important work for the crypto projects and layer 1 networks. Apart from Dr. Jonathan Samplinsky, the lead engineer of Kaspa project now is Mr. Michael Sutton. And recently, we also invited the former lead engineer from IOTA, Mr. Hans Mork, to be part of the core developer and research team. So for Kaspa project, the most important thing we care about is to advance the technology rather than building, let's say, a successful product. Of course, that does bring some pain because it means that we cannot issue that many tokens or we cannot launch that many kinds of assets. We believe that whoever wants to make better use of the network will do those jobs for the community and for the larger audience. So for these are just some of the pieces of evidences where you can see multiple incredible and renowned crypto projects has used the work of Kaspa, at least the work of the theory of Kaspa. So on the left, you can see Vitalik from Ethereum quoting BlockDAG. On the right, you can see Polkadot quoting the results from the BlockDAG paper as well. And these are Vitalik talking about the Ghost paper directly in multiple of his lectures. And attached here is something I asked ChatGPT saying, what does Kaspa's work has anything to do with improvement of Ethereum network? And this is the answer. Basically, it says it shaped Ethereum's consensus design and throughout capacity. Of course, I think this route is no longer followed because Ethereum later gave up on the proof of work mechanism and turning to POS. But I still guess that's the exact reason why Kaspa is here, because we take this legacy from Bitcoin and documental consensus. Oh. So very simple and very easy lines of memory for all of us today is that I believe that Kaspa should only be weighed up against Bitcoin and Ethereum because, again, as I mentioned about Luna at the beginning of the speech, what we care about is decentralization and is about the elimination of moral hazard to make sure that everything is actually on-chain, not relying on any kind of off-chain, let's say, multi-sig mechanisms or verification mechanism. This is a very simple illustration that for Bitcoin, you have a blockchain. And the Bitcoin confirmation time is around for 4 blocks, and the block interval of Bitcoin network is 10 minutes. That is to say, if you only have 4 out of 7 blocks to verify your block, then it means you have to wait for at least 40 minutes to make sure your transaction is well sequenced and is counted as valid in the network. For Kaspa, that you can just do this within 0.1 seconds, which at the same time, the network fee can still stay low. There are also memes on Kaspa that is different from Bitcoin, that we have the KRC20 inscription data insertion protocol that you can also launch your own assets. We believe that is secure and the cost is transparent. So for the last part of this talk, a little bit more about Kaspa Foundation. For us, we offer research and development grants for, again, excellent and outstanding engineers and developers from over the world. We work with colleges and universities directly to build on the most pioneer technology. I think one of the most recent one is we plan to work with certain Hong Kong professors to work on the lattice, which is a Hyperwolf implementation of the most recent ZK-proof technology. For the foundation itself, we work closely with the industry leaders, including Bitmain and Mars on Digital, and Ice River, which is a Beijing group, the largest Kaspa miner producer, also going for an IPO on the US stock market. We also sponsor communities and events around the world. That's something we encourage Korean Kaspa lovers or followers to contact us for. The pictures here shows that for the 3rd anniversary of Kaspa, we had these events all over the world, in Nigeria, in Australia, in the United States, in Canada, in the UK, etc., etc. So we have again, pretty much authentic and real global community, and we definitely welcome Korea to be a part of that one as well. The infrastructures we have are wallet providers like Cashkeeper, of our own DAGs, Kaspa Finance, and our own bridge, which is Curve. You can learn more about the information about these projects out of the auditorium. There is a booth there to introduce these projects. So the last thing I want to introduce is that I guess after this speech there will be a crypto debate at noon. I think this is a very innovative action because I feel that we should listen to more from the teenagers, especially those who are not necessarily from the finance world or from the crypto world, to ask their thoughts and opinions on what they think of the crypto projects such as stablecoins and so on. So we're very happy to sponsor and invite the local Korean college students from all these top universities from Seoul to bring to all of you the debate. So to conclude this talk, I would just want to highlight that we're not here for popularity. I understand for the past, let's say, 1.5 years, there are a lot of projects coming to the Korean markets. We're not here to sell any tokens. Rather, we believe that Korea has a very promising economy with the spirit of launching decentralized financial tools, as Luna did 5 years ago. With that said, we believe that we can build some really excellent applications and communities in this country and in this city. And thank you very much.
네, 감사합니다. KEF 전희호 전무이사님께 다시 한번 감사의 박수 부탁드립니다. 네, 이렇게 좋은 발표 그리고 비전 공유 무엇보다 KEF 후원 다시 한번 진심으로 감사드립니다.